Listen on radio, smart speakers, and our free mobile app, WSKO Syracuse. A Cumulus media station, the voice of the Central New York sports fan. The Score, 1260. Welcome to your home for local sports in Syracuse. Outside the Box Score with Mark Rowlands starts right now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. It was a solo show last week, but it won't be this week. Josh is back.
You know, Mark, a lot of people say things about my attendance for this show and when he decides to show up. Let me know, I'm concussed this week and I'm here. I mean,
Josh is currently battling a concussion.
First head injury.
I've had 3. They suck.
Yeah.
Would you like to inform the people what happened?
Yeah. So as I skipped the show last week to be in Canada, we all remember.
Yep.
Driving home on the thruway, and little Bambi just right in front of me. Killed that thing. I was going 70. Bambi didn't have a chance.
Yep.
Little guy.
Oh, little
Just
guy.
a little son of a gun. Yeah, flung it. Like, where they thought I hit it, I was like, no. I was on, like, the left side. They're like, wow, that thing, it went flying. And I was like, oh, good to know, Doc. Thanks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hit a deer. Car in questionable condition. Brain also in questionable condition. And it's all right.
Well, glad you're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say.
I didn't find out about this until Wednesday when I asked if you want to go to, or no, it was Monday.
Right, I was supposed to help you out with something else.
Yeah,
just looking at it.
Yeah, I asked you a question about work, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll check up on that in a bit." Hit a deer. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, I don't know how to sell people this. You
know. Jim said, "Okay, probably should feel bad here, but I don't." Jesus, Jim! The guy got into a car accident.
I don't care.
The guy killed a living being.
Yeah, that's not really on my conscience. I don't care about that.
Yeah, screw the deer.
Yeah. Just glad it was a little one. I hope its parents were watching.
Jeez.
Bastard deer. Took me.
But glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Somewhat. The head injury is tough.
You describe it to some people and people who've never had a concussion or something or a head injury. You're just like, I live in a constant fog.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, I don't know how to it's just foggy. It's what it is. Now I just feel high. Like today, I feel like I smoked a bowl before I came in here and I'm just high. And I don't like that either.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No.
They are very much not fun. Jim said the one time Josh would have a legit excuse to miss the show, he actually shows up. This is your flu game.
It's my swan song. What's that mean?
This
is my deer derby.
Deer derby, sure.
Sure.
Speaking of derbies and things running,
yeah.
Did you watch the Preakness last week?
No.
I
was working.
You're in Canada.
Yeah, it's a work weekend, brother.
Oh, were you
moving around the island? Yeah. Open it up.
Open
a bunch of crap. It's very exciting.
Yeah,
but you do it so then you get to have fun in the summer. You know?
Yeah, exactly. When's the next trip? Do you know?
Probably June sometime.
Yeah,
June, like second week of June. It'll be on a weekend.
Pat said, "Mark, I was not on the 9 horse. Well, the horses you gave me." Pat did a classic. He gave me the trifecta, the official Saratoga Pat pick for the Preakness. Was I not? You were on the 9 horse. He did like the 9 horse.
Yeah, you said
yeah. But he gave me the trifecta, and I put it in. I boxed it. End up making some money, and I text Pat, and I'm like, "Hey man, thanks for the picks." He goes, "Yeah, I didn't box it."
Oh. We've all been there.
Yeah, you did the same thing on the Derby.
That's right.
Now Pat does it on the Preakness.
Like a fool.
If I forget to box it on the Belmont, this is going to be a nightmare.
Are you going to be there for the Belmont?
No.
You've decided you can't.
Yeah, it's just too much going on.
I actually have. So I've worked myself into. I'm taking off that Friday, the 6th, for a golf tournament that we do every year. We do it every year. It's a pancake luncheon. We do it every year. and then that Saturday, and then Saturday got another golf tournament back to back that I just got invited to. I mean, this is going to be an impressive run here. for
That's
me
a
that
lot of
weekend.
golf, and that's a lot of extracurriculars that go with golf.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully the brain is ready to go in a couple weeks. It's going to need to be.
Who's the second tournament with? Same crew?
I mean, it's hard not to make it the same crew as it's also in Central New York.
Yeah. Where is it?
The first one's at Beaver Meadow.
Yeah.
Second one's at Greenview. I think it's in Central Square.
Oh,
That's where I
okay.
went last year. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it's for the Freemasons.
Oh,
Yes,
the
the Mason
Masons
one.
tournament.
The
Yeah.
Brethren.
Yeah.
I got a very nice good morning, fellow brethren. Come join me. And I just want to have some brethrens in my life. So
yeah, you'd be a good Freemason, I feel.
well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That's like when people are like, "Were you a frat guy?" And I'm like, what? "Do I give off frat guy? I don't want to be a frat guy. I don't think."
No, I don't think you give off frat
No.
guy. You're not. You don't have frat
But
guy
I give off a
vibes.
collective, a small, a unit of people working toward a common goal. I guess I give off.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's fair.
Maybe wear matching attire, something like that, like a fandom.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you,
sorts.
I think you could be a Mason.
I'm sure some people might think that. Yeah.
Yeah. Jim said, interesting. Mark is invited to neither tournament.
Well, Jim, thanks for pointing that out. He was invited
I was invited
the first year.
Yes, and
now-
I was unable to attend the first year of this tournament that you do every year.
Yeah.
He also did remind you that there is a show on Saturday, June 7th.
Yeah. I'll call in. How does it? I'll call in from the fourth hole, Jim.
Yeah.
How does it work though, Jim? How do you get a foursome going with people and then kick somebody out for the next year?
Yeah,
Everyone knows that's the tournament.
No, you can't do that.
But Mark did reap the reward of the first year tournament. We went to Florida. He was with
Yes,
us.
I was part of that crew. You guys bid in an auction for a trip to Florida, and we did end up going down. It was great.
Some of my loved ones still think that I won that just for free. Some people.
Josh won in a raffle a trip to Florida
For 8 people.
Yeah, for 8 people
for a week.
Yep, it was the luckiest draw of his life. Pat said also big time Belmont weekend that day. Yep, Saratoga Pat will be back. He'll be at the Belmont.
Love that.
But Jim also said, so wanting good golfers isn't a priority for Josh. Jim, the way I've been playing recently, I wouldn't classify myself as a good golfer. It's been really bad as of late.
The thing is that I do a lot of tournaments. I enjoy the tournament. Nobody's ever winning these things. You only win, Jim, if you cheat.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
When that guy comes into the clubhouse and he says 14 under, you just laugh a little bit. You think about punching him in the face. And then you say, well, I think I had you on the long drive, but mine was just out of the fairway. That's all you say.
Yeah.
And then you just something like that. And then you move on with your day because you're never winning those.
It's one of those things like, and plus we've played in a few scrambles together, and we never do like.
What's our best? Like 4 or 5 under?
It was 5 or 6 at Pine Grove last year in the Pies guys.
Yeah.
We were 5 or 6 under. It's like with our group, we're not making that many birdies, man.
I mean, that's the real key to all of us is greens and reg. Our number sucks.
Oh yeah,
we can't hit greens and reg.
No,
our driver, 1 in 4 of us will have a good drive.
Yeah,
that's generally pretty fair. You can make a putt. We can all make putt. We will not hit the green on our second shot. It just won't happen.
It's not, not to trash it. That's like, it's like, all right, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, Mark is the true anchor.
Every hole, it's like, all right, Mark, get us on the green. It's like, I can hit a certain number of greens in regulation, but I'm not a professional golfer.
We ask a lot.
Yeah.
And we suck. I don't know what to tell you. 100 in, Mark, when I played golf Monday concussed.
Yeah,
and
not smart.
Pretty good round. I hear that's not smart.
Yeah.
Pretty good round though, and I was fire with the 9-iron. I've moved down instead of the 8-iron run up. I've gone down to the 9. Mark, I was money from 130 into like 95. Right, sticking greens. I had like a 4-foot putt for birdie off of a 9-iron run up.
Nice.
I mean, I'm a new man with this 9-iron, and people are laughing at me. I'm in the fairway doing this, but I don't care.
Now we'll eventually get you down to the pitching wedge.
Sure.
And and then
Then actually hitting wedges? No.
Yes.
What kind of sick game is this that you're playing, sir?
Jim said, "Poll, might Josh play better when concussed?"
I think so. 'Cause I wasn't swinging out of my shoes. I was
Yeah.
like cognizant of the brain damage.
Yeah.
So I was like, just take it easy. Nice smooth swings. 47. I'll take that.
We're gonna start getting you to hit wedges. I'm telling you. Just you can do the same thing with the 9-iron as you can with a pitching wedge.
Sure. Okay, we'll do pitching wedge, but runner, not a run.
Oh boy,
God, the brain. Oh God, go to commercial. I'm having a seizure. Oh no.
We are gonna take a timeout.
Oh my
At some point, we'll actually talk about sports. The NBA playoffs going on. I do want to do a little eulogy for one of the great sports shows of all time as well. So we'll talk about that and much more when we come back here on Outside the Box Score.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can...
Runner.
Woo!
Wow.
It's a seizure. I think.
You
I gotta
alright,
call a
pal?
doctor. Yeah. Too much talking. It's good to talk.
It's good to talk.
I don't talk enough. You know what's nice tonight? I think I'm gonna make myself. I can't sleep today. That's my thing. Cannot sleep today.
Yep.
I can stay up tonight. Watch WWE Saturday Night Main Event.
Oh, there you go.
John Cena fighting R-Truth. R-Truth, of course. John Cena's his childhood hero. It's a very funny bit. He calls him his childhood hero. I'm pretty sure he's older than John.
Oh, really?
They're about the same age, yeah.
That is funny. Jim said used to be a decent sports show until the last few years. Listen.
You know about us?
No, he's talking about
Okay.
Around the Horn.
I thought he was talking about us.
I still loved it.
I liked it. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but,
it got worse.
But you it's the rotating cast of ESPN people,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's where when's the last time you saw Bob Ryan on it, Jack Mack? Those guys are retired. I think that's what he's getting at. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, once it in like Mina Kimes is not included in this because she's great at everything she does.
Sure.
But once it started being like Schefter was going on there and like the regular ESPN people, I was like,
Yeah.
That was the great part about the show. It was writers.
Kalishaw's FaceTime just snap the fingers. That's the money shot right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
ESPN does not care about any degree you have anymore.
Yep.
Did you play professional sports?
Yep.
Which sucks.
Your dad said, "Have you guys ever been a decent sports show?"
Good point.
No.
Good point.
And Pat said Around the Horn went woke. Pat's on one today.
I think Pat's played. Now that I know Pat's, it's a bit. I don't know. I mean, what are we doing here? Also, I did like Tony just being like, "Yeah, the scoring system, a farce."
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
He's like, "There's a system, but it's everything."
He's like, I started and I was like, "Yeah, good answers get 3 points," and I was like, "That's bullshit." He's like, I don't know. It is funny though, because he says it when he's like, sometimes stats would be good, other times I didn't want to hear stats. I'm like,
yeah.
I remember that as kid because sometimes it'd be like, over the last 14 games, this are like down.
Yeah.
You're like, he's spitting right now. Adonde's going off.
Yeah.
The one guy that I never liked as much as he did was Frank Isola.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, he just was never my guy.
Yeah.
But reality loved him.
Yeah. And just a couple of Italian dudes,
Right. In New York bred. He's doing. So is he doing Around the Horn still on YouTube? Is that kind of what he got?
It seems like it's gonna be like Around the Horn that he's
Okay.
gonna do, except maybe with like viewers.
He said that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gotta be tough to screen. Also, like, I guess Around the Horn, you argue they're journalists. They don't really have personalities. You don't necessarily need personalities. If you just got dudes debating sports,
Yeah, but
to some extent,
that was the great part about it is they did have he got guys that did have personality. I mean, Woody Page.
Woody Page has personality.
Yeah, like
you know the other guy I'd never really liked too, and I was always like, this guy again, Plashke.
Really, not a Plashke guy.
No, he had that weird lisp, and I always wanted to just shut up.
Talk weird.
Yeah.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the score 1260. Josh and I were just reminiscing during the break about the golden days of Around the Horn and ESPN. Around the Horn, of course, had its last episode yesterday and really paved the way for good and ill to what ESPN has become now.
Yep.
Because it was the first, sports debate show that ESPN started airing and 23 years ago, and now ESPN's all debate shows. Sports Center's a debate show now.
No, it's talking heads everywhere.
And Around the Horn did it right, or actually PTI was first, but that wasn't so it
was debatey, but it wasn't more debatey, more just talky.
We're I wouldn't declare that a debate show. I mean, they had debates. It's two guys that have varying opinions, but it wasn't Around the Horn where it was, all right, you make this point, I'm going to make this counterpoint, and then that led, of course, to First Take and everything else that, Skip Bayless went on to have his second career after First Take. And it's really what most of sports media has turned into is debate shows. And I remember when I was in college and when I first started getting into the sports talk industry, that was the last thing I wanted this show to be, was a debate show. And
because I'd cook you. No, I'm kidding. Because you want this right now?
It's because it's old hat. And no show did it better than Around the Horn when Around the Horn was at its peak. And it was a great it was a great run, and it was a great last episode. They had the 8 most regular panelists for the most part, and even a couple that had retired. It was a really nice episode. It made me somewhat emotional listening to Woody and all the people say their goodbyes. And as a longtime fan of the show, it sucks. I hate that ESPN couldn't even give Tony Reali a different job. They just didn't renew his contract. What are we talking? The guy's been at ESPN for 25 years, and just gonna toss him onto YouTube, so he can do his own YouTube show.
That's what happens now. I mean, imagine all the anchors over the last 10 years that have been laid off. People that you used to respect, even like Sage Steele, or isn't that her name? Used to respect. But people like that, when they get fired, you're like, damn, that sucks. They've been there for forever. Now you're like, it just happens.
It just happens. I hate the direction that ESPN is currently in. I give PTI 2 more years before they can them, and that's going to be a tough one.
I don't know. Those are just old guys. I feel like they're the last of their breed for sure. And then, will they even put up a fight, or they just go off silently into the night? They probably just die off.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, Kornheiser probably is ready to retire anyway. Or close to it. Wilbon, I think, would put up a fight.
Wilbon's still got some dog left in him for sure.
I mean, he's doing more of the NBA coverage on ESPN now, and I think Wilbon would put up a fight. And it's funny, I was talking to a couple people last night, and one of them, his wife, just calls PTI old men yelling at clouds.
Oh,
and listen, I still love it. I still love Kornheiser, and Kornheiser's got a great podcast too.
Okay.
And so I still love watching the show, but I think they're gonna can them pretty soon too. And then it's just
what's
First
it fill
Take
up with?
And, do you just extend NFL Live for an hour?
Or NBA Live?
Or NBA Today? I don't know what they're going to put in that 5 to 5:30 time slot, but it ain't going to be Around the Horn.
Maybe if they clear that hour, Mark, they can make an NHL talk.
Doubt it.
I know. Well, Barry's gone. Cohn's going to be... Did you see silently? I just saw this because I happened to watch their last episode.
Oh,
that they canned SportsCenter LA?
Yeah.
Neil Everett and Stan Verrett. You want to talk about growing up on something?
Yeah.
I'd wake up before school an hour early at 6 a.m. to watch Neil Everett and Stan Verrett.
Yeah.
Neil Neil is the best Sports Center guy that I know.
Yeah,
me.
I'm a big Everett guy. I was always a big John Anderson fan.
John Anderson's nice. He was
Yeah.
the primetime guy. I
Yeah.
get it. Neil and Stan were running something special out
Oh
there
yeah,
on the
they
West
were a
Coast.
great duo. But yeah, Sports Center LA gone.
What the hell? And they're like real silent on that. They
Oh,
made like
yeah.
one online post about it, and I only saw it like I woke up and I was like, last show. But I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Last show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crazy.
Ridiculous. Now, I think that is because they're trying to move everything back to Connecticut. Like they don't want to be as branched out as they are.
Sure.
But also, like they were talking yesterday, Around the Horn was produced in D.C.
Yep.
A show shot in New York, like at the New York studio, and they produced it in D.C., which is weird.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so Sports Center LA is gone. Remember they had briefly the Toronto Sports Center?
Oh God, no, I don't.
It was on at 6 p.m. They called it Sports Center 6 from the 6.
Ugh.
It lasted like a year.
Were
and
we
it was
young?
No, this is like 5 years ago.
Oh. With Canadians?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No, but it was not good. It was it might have been Sage Steele might have been the host actually. Like it was someone like that, and it was not good. And so they've tried all these different sports centers, but the one that worked was LA. Yep. That was the one that they branched out and it actually worked. And now it's canned.
Damn, I liked honestly, growing up too, before I had watched a lot of pop culture things, I thought Neil Everett was just making lines. Like before, I was like, when he would always do pirate, like, I don't want to be the pirate. And I'm like, wow, that's a killer line. How'd he come up with that? Things like oh.
Neil Everett's a genius. God, this guy, why isn't he a stand-up comedian?
You're like, oh, I just like Seinfeld. That's cool.
Yeah, he's just a big Seinfeld guy. It was cool seeing Reale do the Goodfellas open to the show yesterday, which he had done on Around the Horn previously, but ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a sportscaster. I was like, oh yeah, that's great. But rest in peace to Around the Horn, one of the great shows at ESPN, and it's going to be a rough few years for the worldwide leader.
I mean, it's all crumbling, right? What are we doing here?
They
give up baseball for free.
Yep.
They don't care. It's literally the NBA and NFL show. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't even watch sports anymore. Like,
no, I very rarely watch Sports Center.
For the longest time, anything on in my background of anything was ESPN.
Yeah.
That's changed. Like, even throughout college, I remember it was mostly ESPN because like FS1 got really popular when we were undergrads, I feel like. And I was still like, yeah, man, ESPN. Yeah. And now I'm like, couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Literally take both of them. I don't want to see Nick Wright or Stephen A. I don't care. I don't want either of them.
And I've softened on Stephen A. in recent years. That like I used to not be able to stand him, but I think his podcast is better than First Take. Like the Stephen A. Smith show.
His show's hilarious.
Yeah, his show is much better than First Take, but I just get so tired of the screaming at each other, and it always goes back to the same topics. Like during the winter, I watched First Take like almost every day, and every single day it was the Lakers, it was the Cowboys, it was Aaron Rodgers. It was every single day the same 5 topics.
Oh yeah, when it gets dry, he pulls out the old reliables.
And then for like 2 weeks straight, him and Shannon argued about who was better, LeBron or Jordan. I'm like,
I was just gonna say,
what is this?
Did you see yesterday's thing about him talking about the GOAT talk? And he's like, it's always LeBron's people who don't want us to talk about it because they know what it is. They know he's not the GOAT. Like now that he's full on anti-LeBron now because of their thing, which is very funny to me.
Very funny
because he was kind of. Giving LeBron the rub for a while.
Yeah.
Which, of course, LeBron is like
they did
incredible. The thing Around the Horn the other day. Who's the GOAT since we've been on the air? It's undoubtedly LeBron James.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Not even close.
I love the Tiger talks, whatever. Very fun. Tiger was already in the last half of his years by the time the show aired.
Yeah.
So, like, but him now beefing with LeBron after 15 years of glazing is very funny.
Oh, it is very funny.
It's very funny.
It's very funny. Yeah, that was something that was interesting to me. So they had that like GOAT athlete conversation Around the Horn yesterday, like in their era. Not a single mention of Michael Phelps. That's the like if we're talking all around athlete, in the last 23 years, like any sport, no
Sure.
matter what. No Michael
We
Phelps.
had more Olympic medals than years the show was on it, right?
Yeah. No Serena Williams mention, no Simone Biles mention. Like, that felt weird to me that they were all just like, yeah, it's LeBron. And then, was it Bob Ryan said Tiger?
Yeah. I mean, any one of the 3 tennis players, male side, could have been thrown out there.
Any of them could have been, like, but they weren't even mentioned. It was just like, oh, it's LeBron. It's like, well, you can think a little deeper than that, I
Right.
feel.
Maybe it was the last second show, they're like, well, I guess we're running out of the air.
Yeah.
We'll pull out all the goats.
Yeah, I mean, seeing the last debate on Around the Horn be nearly unanimous was kind of annoying. I was like, all right, come on. You could have been like, all right, you should all choose 4 different
So
people.
I liked was it Isola who said Tiger? Or one of them who said Tiger?
No, it was Bob Ryan.
Bob Ryan? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he said Tiger. I was like, all right, thank you for
Somebody's
someone
at least
having a
throwing
different opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna miss those guys. I'm gonna miss watching ESPN all the time because I certainly don't anymore.
Yeah.
Sucks now.
Yeah, I mean, there's just sports are dead.
Kind of.
Maybe it's just you get older and sports die. Maybe that's it too.
No, I don't think that's it though. There was a real shift.
Okay.
There was a real shift at ESPN, and I know exactly when it started.
Hit me.
When they canceled Outside the Lines
Oh, I remember.
with Bob Lee.
Yep.
Once they canned Bob Lee,
Journalism was dead there.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean that was the beginning of the end for ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
And then they brought Outside the Lines back without Bob Lee, but it wasn't investigative journalism anymore. It was like puff pieces.
Because what was the big one they got? The FIFA thing? Is that the one that like killed them?
Yeah, I think so.
Or they cracked FIFA's code and then they're like, oh boy,
Yeah,
we gotta.
yeah, it was something like that. But once Bob Lee was gone, ESPN was on the way out.
They did it with Jeremy Schaap or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and
He's fine.
Jim said post 2016 there was a shift there also, which is true. I mean,
Totally.
not to get
Pat,
into it, but
fire it up.
but there was a big tonal shift at
Sure.
ESPN after that, which makes sense. I mean, things change with the times and each administration, but that was a big shift as well, and it's just never really recovered.
Yeah, because part of me is like, people are like, you'll get older, you'll stop caring. I'm like, no. Like, I think it's certainly unhealthy to care about sports as much as I do, but
we haven't gotten there yet.
you don't think I'm old enough to
Yeah.
where it's losing. Like, once we have a child, then it's like, okay, I
Yes.
can't watch
Yeah.
every Reds game.
Get
or something.
married, have a kid. That's when things I feel start to go on the back burner. We're not there yet. We're in our
Okay.
mid-20s.
So they've
Still
just failed
watching
us.
sports all the time. I think it's more on ESPN than it is on us.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
take the blame away from me. I'll take it.
And plus, like, Bob Lee was like, that was like 10 years ago.
That they canned him?
Yeah. He hasn't
Jeez.
been on ESPN for a long time.
Wow.
So it's that I think that's like it's been a long time coming that they were going to get rid of Around the Horn. And like I said, Pardon the Interruption's probably next.
Yeah.
And they'll put that 5 to 6 time slot. They'll have another NBA show. Or you know what it'll be?
Hit me.
It's going to be a gambling show.
Oh, yeah. Primetime gambling show?
It's going to be it's going to be a 1 hour gambling show sponsored by ESPN Bet, and McAfee's probably going to be on it. And like, it's going to be,
Dude, what they're doing with gambling in sports,
it's a problem.
I mean, it's going to ruin this country.
Yeah.
There are a lot of young men who are just becoming degenerative gamblers.
Yeah.
And people will be like, no, we'll be smart about it. Nobody's smart about it. It's a bad thing, and it's really messed up what companies do to do it.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, you thought people sued when they were smoking commercials, right? And
Yeah.
They're like, that's crazy. What are we doing now?
gambling commercials are, I mean, there's,
During sports.
yeah.
During sports, they're like, hey, by the way, you can take $20 out right now. We'll match it, and you can bet on the Oilers right now. They're up 1-0. Bet
Yeah.
them to win by 3.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Okay.
It-
It's crazy.
The Detroit Tigers and so many other like teams are on the FanDuel network.
Yeah.
There's a FanDuel sports network now
Sure.
that airs games.
Yes.
It's insane.
It's too much.
It's way too much. And
Sports should be fun.
This is coming from 2 guys
Who
that
love
have,
sports games.
that have been betting on sports for Lord knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
Too long.
Yes.
And it's a massive problem.
Yeah. No, it's kind of scary.
It is. It's terrifying. I was at work the other day, and there was a 15-year-old that was like,
You know, a guy.
I got nailed on DraftKings yesterday. What?
How's he got an account? A buddy of his?
It's his dad's or something. And I'm like,
nice.
dude, listen, I was gambling on sports when I was 16,
Sure.
or he's 16, not 15. I was gambling on sports when I was 16, but I did it the right way. I had a bookie.
Well, that's like, I think about it too. Yeah, like that's like illegal. Like your dad could probably get in some trouble there. I think about like my nephew. My nephew's a moron. One of the dumbest kids I know.
Yeah.
He's like 13.
Mm-hmm.
What if that guy just starts going like, hey, do you like the Chargers with the points tonight? And I'm like, what? No. You don't like anything.
You don't
You don't
like
like
anything.
it? Are you crazy? Get out of here. Like that, those types of people who get involved in this, you're like, there's no way out. Dude,
Yeah.
You just lose. You're like, well, I could just put in another 20 and win again. Like, it's crazy.
There's going to be an entire generation of massive gambling addicts.
This is where those people, Pat is somewhere going like, this is how they take out the white man. First it starts with this, and then the family units go, they stop having kids.
All right.
This is how it happens.
We're gonna take a break.
This is it.
We're gonna take a break. We'll be back here on Outside the Box Score. No,
Maybe not even on the air, but I won't. They didn't say his name.
okay.
This guy tells me, he's like, you know what? We were talking about presidents we hated, which obviously we have some different ones.
Of course.
But one we kind of agreed on was Woodrow Wilson. And I was like, oh, right,
Sure.
because how he ended the war leads to World War II, whatever. He goes, yeah, that stuff. And I go,
What's the other reason?
What did you hate about him? And he goes, well, he re-implemented the Federal Reserve, the large bank, whatever. I'm like, okay, sure.
Mhm.
He goes, and women were allowed to vote. And I was like,
No way.
I was like, what do you mean by that, though? Like, should they not be? He's like, well, when you give women the right to vote, then, you lose the family values, the family system shatters in America, and it's all linked back to him. And I was like, so are you saying that women shouldn't vote, or what's the deal here? He goes,
What
no.
is this guy's problem?
He's like, well, no, like now women, they have the right. You can't take it away, right? But probably should have just never been given. I'm like, what?
What an absurd take.
Like, well, then the worst part about it is I'm telling other people about this to be like, this guy's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, you've never heard someone with that take? And I'm like, not seriously. No, this
No,
guy,
not seriously, yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I guess I've like, our other friend, the Sham, was like, yeah, I've heard like just psychos say stuff like that online and stuff. So it didn't really affect me. I'm
Well,
like,
yeah, psychos online and your friend
right,
are
this is a
different
dear
things.
friend of mine telling me that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, essentially. And I'm like, what? What do you mean by that, bud? Well, he's like, well, ruin the family system. I'm like, what?
That's absurd.
It's like forced him back into the workforce. I'm like, what?
This
And
guy's
this is
a
all
problem.
bad. He's like, this is all bad.
This guy
Women
is a
vote,
problem.
Women have jobs, bad. Women should be like handsmaid tales. Handmaids. That's what they should be, essentially. I'm watching the show going, wow, this guy would love this. I mean, this is what this is about. This is all in.
He needs help. I never I don't know him that well. Like I obviously don't know him as well as you guys do.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed.
That crazy.
Yeah. Like
It just texted me, who said that? And by the way, are the donuts good?
Donuts are good.
Asking the important question.
The donuts are in fact good.
Yeah, I mean, this is where like I defend him all the time. Like he's a good pal of mine, but like some of the things he says, where you're just like
Indefensible.
yeah, like that's like some people, I've been a guy who's been cut off by someone due to something I've said.
Sure.
I'm not that type of person to just
Mhm.
cut off, but it is one thing where you're like, if there was a line where you'd start to cut people off, would
Mhm.
one of your friends telling you that they believe women shouldn't vote, would that be on
That's
the
up
line?
there.
Where's the line?
It's
And,
close.
Like I'm laughing about it now, but it was kind of terrifying when he told me it. I just couldn't help but laugh too. Like I felt bad not defending the
Yeah.
other side. Where I'm like, You're serious? That's all. I was just dumbfounded. I've never heard that.
That's insane. Absolutely insane.
I will point out he has told that dad, and he was like, she would agree. Did the woman would agree?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's something else.
It's a wild thing. I don't know how that came up on the show today, but it's just crazy to me.
Well, because you were saying this is before we went to break, you're like, this is where Pat goes, this is the death of the white man.
That's right. Jake, keep listening, sister.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the score 1260. Big day today for Syracuse lacrosse, Josh.
It is.
Playing on Memorial Day weekend for the first time since 2013 after their win over Princeton last week in the semifinals of the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship. Taking on number 2 Maryland, 2:30 this afternoon. Syracuse is currently sitting at plus 135.
What are we ranked?
6.
Okay, so we're right there.
Yeah, right there. Here's what I want to happen.
Us to win.
Well, yeah. That's it.
Okay. Nope. Next segment.
Yeah. No, I want Syracuse to win this game, obviously.
Sure.
And I want Cornell to beat Penn State.
Ooh.
Cornell is the number 1 team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Then I need Syracuse to beat Cornell in the championship.
Big Red.
Because that would mean, A, Syracuse wins another national championship, number 12, most in the history of college lacrosse. Championships are at Syracuse. And that'd be great. But also, that would mean that we single-handedly took out the Ivy League from the NCAA tournament.
Princeton,
we beat
Harvard,
Princeton, and then Cornell.
Now that'd be nice.
That if Syracuse could just destroy the entire Ivy League, that'd be fantastic. And sorry, but my buddy Luke Gilmartin, who plays for Cornell,
their lacrosse team.
Yeah,
he plays. Oh,
yeah,
that's nice.
Great athlete. He was the starting point guard at West Hill.
We interviewed that guy.
Yes. Yeah.
He's on the number 1 ranked lacrosse team in the country.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, shout out Luke Gilmartin. Won a state championship as the starting point guard for West Hill. Was the number 1 golfer on the golf team for 3 years. Then he decided to play soccer and led the team in goals. And now he plays for the number 1 lacrosse team in the country.
Just a freak athlete.
Absolute freak athlete.
Did he pick the wrong sport, though? What do you do after lacrosse?
No, I think it was the right sport.
PLL? PLL's not bad, though, now, right? It's better than the national whatever, right?
Yeah, PLL is the way to go, but it's still, you still have to work another job.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, in any event, still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Be number 1 team.
Yeah, it's great for Luke, and if Syracuse gets eliminated today, I want nothing more than Luke to win a championship. That would be awesome.
What time's the game?
2:30.
Oh, I'll be tuned in.
On ESPN2, Syracuse, Maryland. First game, Cornell, Penn State is at noon.
When is where are these games being played? Is it neutral site, I imagine?
Yeah, neutral site. I think it's in Foxborough. It's at Gillette.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jim says Syracuse plus 390 to win it all. I'd bet that.
Do they play outside in all these games? I mean,
oh yeah.
So the dome is a severe advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Most lacrosse is played outside.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad said, "Can you acknowledge the passing of George Wendt?" Yes.
Sure.
Are you a Cheers guy?
He's made me watch enough Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
I think the first 3 seasons of Cheers are up there with any sitcom ever.
That's before Woody gets there.
Yeah, because Coach is funnier.
That's fair. I like Coach.
I mean, Woody's great. I love Woody Harrelson. His character Woody's very funny.
Sure.
But Coach
also
made that show.
Sam and Diane better than Sam and Christy Alley.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Christy Alley ruined that show for me. Not a fan of her in that show.
No bueno.
Yeah.
I didn't like Diane either at that time because she was like 80s hot. She had that vibe for like an 80s.
Was she though?
I think so. I don't think she was very attractive for present time for sure.
Yeah.
But Christy Alley, no bueno.
Yeah, I
She's dead too, actually. Aren't we?
Yeah.
Are we making fun of a dead woman now?
yeah, she did die.
That's
didn't
tough.
she?
You know
Yeah.
what? She was hot for her day.
Oh no, certainly attractive. I just didn't like her character.
Yeah.
The whole like, oh, it's like the corporate manager because Sam like sold the bar to corporate, but he still worked there. It was just weird.
Yeah.
It was better when Coach was behind the bar, Sam owned the joint, and it was like this, but George Wendt, obviously, as Norm, one of the iconic sitcom characters. I mean, he's the most memorable character from that show, and he was a side character. Like,
Yeah.
more so than Sam and Diane, more so than Coach, more like it was him and Cliff. Like, Norm and Cliff really made the show.
Right. I was gonna say I've watched the show enough to where I met Frasier, and then I've watched more Frasier from Cheers.
Yeah.
I've watched like 6 seasons of Frasier. I have not watched that much Cheers.
Yeah.
But
It's funny. I've actually never seen Frasier.
Frasier's nice. I like Frasier a lot.
I'm sure I would like it. I've just never watched it. But yeah, I mean, I rewatched the like last scene from Cheers, which is Sam and Norm in the bar, and he was talking about like love and all this stuff, and like it got to me a little bit, and he's like, you know what I love? And Sam goes, beer, Norm? He goes, yeah, I got time for a quick one. He goes, no, I love that stool. He goes, if I go to heaven and that stool isn't waiting for me, that means I'm in hell. I'm like, that's just an interesting way to like, discuss love and stuff like that. But, it's something so trivial. It's a bar stool, and it's, just this at this bar, but
it's how he felt at the bar.
It's how he felt at the bar. And it was a cool ending to the show, and it was a great show, and Norm was a great character, and George Wendt, did many other things as well. I also love him. He was on Conan O'Brien's first show, and he leg wrestled John Goodman. And if you've never seen that, it's absolutely hilarious. So I recommend everyone go watch that. The entire first episode of Conan is on YouTube. I've watched it a million times. It's
on
so
Team
funny.
Coco?
Yeah, on Team Coco. And but yeah, it's like I remember stuff like that too, where he's got John Goodman on as a guest, and they're talking about leg wrestling, which is arm wrestling but with your legs. And Goodman's like, yeah, I'm the best leg wrestler there is. And George Wendt stands up in the crowd. He's like, what are you talking about? No, you're not. You've never leg wrestled me. I'm the best leg wrestler. And they do this ridiculous bit, and it's very funny. And George Wendt was a very funny man. And I'm a big fan of Cheers, and that one got me a little bit. He was 76 years old.
By the way,
rest in peace.
sometimes this chat just takes us too far. We were getting to it, I'm sure. Can we talk more about this lacrosse game?
Oh, yeah.
I was locked in. I'm going to watch this later. And then we went on a 5-minute eulogy for George Wendt.
12 o'clock, Cornell, Penn State. Penn State, very good program. And then Syracuse, Maryland at 2:30. Like I said, Syracuse trying to get their 12th lacrosse banner. Maryland, by the way, has beaten Syracuse in, I believe, 8 straight games. We haven't beat Maryland in, I think it's like 10 years.
So, Mark, let's say you're somebody out there, could be, doesn't watch a lot of lacrosse. Maybe hasn't watched a single Syracuse lacrosse game all year, but now they're like, okay, we're in the semis. Maybe I'll tune in. What guy am I looking for?
Joey
Spallina. 2-3 guy. Joey Spallina.
Joey Spallina.
Okay.
He shut down. So I'm on the side of like Syracuse lacrosse Twitter, where there's a lot of like burners and stuff, and they all go after Joey Spallina. It's like, oh, this guy, he can't play in big games. Gary Gate will never win the big one. Like, this Syracuse team just chokes every year. Joey Spallina against Princeton had 8 points. He had 4 goals and 4 assists.
That's pretty good.
Absolutely went off. And afterwards called out those exact haters in his post-game interview. And he's like, but I had a pretty good game, but I can't win the big one. Like, stuff like that.
Okay.
And
so he's pumped up.
Joey Spallina is awesome to watch. He's so good at lacrosse. And he wears number 22, which at Syracuse is like the number. The Mikey Powell wore 22, Gary Gate wore 22. It's the number that gets passed down to
the 44.
Yeah. It's the 44 of lacrosse. He wears number 22. Owen Hiltz is really great. He's an attack. the goalie Jimmy McCool, which
Jimmy
great name.
McCool?
Jimmy McCool, unbelievable name. Won ACC goalie of the year, and then was not named as an All-American somehow. There were 11 goalies on that list, and not one of them, like if you include honorable mentions, and not one of them was Jimmy McCool, which is absolutely ridiculous. Jim also mentioned SU women's lacrosse getting a new coach. That is true. Kaylee Trainer going to, is it Penn State? Yeah, I think it was Penn State.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just up and left.
Is it mutual or she gone?
No, she left.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so that's not fun.
Nope.
She took over for Gary Gate when he went from the women's team to the men's team. Great coach, Kayla Trainer, and that program's had a lot of success, but we'll see how she does at Penn State. It's a weird situation. There's some sort of outside stuff that I've heard that is kind of strange.
They seem to have that history of that down there in Penn State.
Yeah, which is why the choice was interesting to me. But yeah, so best of luck to her. But it was now SU women's lacrosse needs a new coach.
Mark, another question for someone who may not watch a lot of lacrosse. How do goalies, they got all that pads and all those uniforms, such a small net. How did the ball get through there?
It goes very fast.
Okay. Just for some people.
Ball go fast.
Okay.
And with that, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back here on Outside the Box Score. Yeah, very excited for this game. I will be watching it here because the Mets have a doubleheader this afternoon. And
the Mets are playing today?
As far as I know. But they have a doubleheader because their game yesterday was canceled.
I was supposed to go to the game on Thursday. I got a concussion.
Outside the Box Score, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, Jamie, I'll throw you on hold. We're just combining the last two breaks.
Junior's a piece of shit.
What do you do now?
He goes, careful, the headphones might scramble your brain even more. You might just be permanently cooked. I was like, I'm not wearing headphones, jackass. It's just messed up.
Oh, yeah, we do also have the Indy 500 tomorrow.
Is the Indy 500 in the room with us?
Dude.
Do you watch the Indy 500?
Yeah, I'll check out Indy, sure.
Who are you?
I watch select races. I won't sit down and watch the entire thing, no, but
you were talking. Wait, there's separate races within the Indy 500?
No, I'm
I
just
got
saying
you.
I won't sit down and watch the entire race, but
I got you.
Yeah, I'll watch a few laps.
I don't know. It's like you asked me about lacrosse. I don't think I've ever watched an IndyCar race. Ever.
You ever watch NASCAR?
No.
Not Daytona or Talladega, nothing?
No. I mean, outside of Ricky Bobby, no.
No. Yeah, I watch a race every once in a while.
Even because, like I've said,
I used to watch it more when I was a kid.
Emily likes F1, and I can't.
F1's cool. Yeah,
I'll watch some of that.
I like F1.
Even that, it gets pretty boring for me. Luckily, that one goes fast though. Like I feel like they go so fast, like it takes like an hour and 15 minutes. But I feel like NASCAR can go all day. No.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
Jim said you have to go there one time, 350,000 people, which is actually like what it holds
for who?
Indianapolis.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's where they drink the milk, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. On the brick.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would love to go. I would love to go to Indy. Yeah, I'm not like a huge racing fan by any means, but Indy, Daytona, Talladega. When they go to Watkins Glen, that's always cool. Dirt track.
Mm-hmm.
Jim said place is massive, and yes, Josh, you can bring your own beer.
Thank you, Jim. Djokovic in a battle right now in Geneva.
Who's he got?
Hubie Hurkacz in the finals of Geneva.
Herbie Hancock? What?
Pretty much. But Hubie's up 4-3 serving for the match in the third set. Djokovic playing this tournament's kind of shocking.
Yeah. And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the score 1260. Going to go over to the phone lines. Jamie, the FedEx guy, calling in. Jamie, what's going on, pal?
Hey, Mark, guys, how you guys doing today?
Doing well, my friend.
So, Josh, you guys catch that Preakness on YouTube because that was an awesome race. Definitely worth checking out. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, the
Hey, Mark, you nailed.
Oh, I was just going to
nailed.
say the Preakness was awesome.
Yeah. And then you already talked to SU Lacrosse. I'm actually rooting for him, something that is unfamiliar territories because I never root for SU.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're finally coming to the white side, Jamie, and actually rooting for a Syracuse team because that is very much unlike you.
Yes, indeed. Because I like SU. SU Lacrosse has been good back when I was younger, and I used to be a lacrosse player back in my youth. I was not too bad at it. So 22 SU, let's go SU, take home the chip. And then Josh, who you got in the French Open? I got Casper Ruud, dude. Even though I don't watch tennis anymore.
Casper Ruud. I don't hate that. I like Casper on the clay, especially, obviously, but he got ran through by Sinner at the Rome Masters just this last week. It was kind of embarrassing, actually. It was bad, but who knows? You get a good draw, get some luck on your side. He could make a good run. I don't hate that. I feel like it's I don't know. Alcaraz beat him, but it's hard to root against Sinner on any court.
I'm not betting against Alcaraz on clay. I'm just not doing it.
I mean, I get it. One of those two.
And then my last thing I wanted to ask you guys about the Indy 500 is on Sunday, and throughout all sports, why do people keep cheating? Because the two-time defending champ with his teammate from Team Penske had a couple of things on the car that you're not supposed to have. They got caught, so now they got to start in the back of the field. I just don't understand why people keep cheating.
Well, Jamie, they always say if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Boom.
No, you're always gonna have cheat. I mean, you just brought up Yannick Sinner. Why did the best tennis player in the world use steroids? It's always going to happen in so many forms. You don't see it very often in auto racing, so that did kind of surprise me when I heard that. But it happens all the time. It's we don't even know really. You think of Major League Baseball, Jose Alvarado just got suspended for 80 games for using PEDs. They catch more guys now, but there's probably guys out there that are, that don't get caught that are using Lord knows what. So anyone will do anything to get an advantage in professional sports. It's a pain and I hate it, but it's just the way it is.
Yep, I hear you. Happy Memorial Day weekend, fellas. And keep up the good work you fine folks do.
Thanks, Jamie. Happy Memorial Day weekend. There he is, Jamie the FedEx guy, calling in for a quick chat. We've got some odds on the French right now. Alcaraz plus 115, Sinner plus 175 to win.
That's crazy.
Plus 115 is absurd.
I mean, he looks pretty good. Like I said, he just won Rome, but there's just something about him. He doesn't really have that. Doesn't have the mental game yet. He's only 22, right? I feel bad talking about him, but he's already won 3 out of the 4 majors. It's just who he is. He's a great tennis player. I don't know. It's a lot. That's heavy. That's heavy odds. That's like Joker and his prime. All those guys. I mean,
Joker's third in odds. He's plus 900.
It goes from 100 to 900.
Yeah, it goes from 175 to 900.
Ooh.
So they're thinking it's. I mean, yeah, according to Vegas, it's Alcaraz in center. That's it.
That's fair. Joker did just skip the Rome Masters to only play this week before in Geneva. He's in a finals right now, but I don't know that that's even good for him to go to the finals, especially if he loses the finals, because then he just doesn't get the confidence boost.
Yeah.
And he spent an entire week playing. He's been crushing people in straight sets, but I don't know. Tennis is fun, man. French Open's going to be fun. If you don't watch a lot of tennis, the French is always fun.
Yep.
Especially, I think this year, though, now they're doing Hawkeye, which sucks. Like they used to have at the French, you would have to just call it out and they would come check the spot
Yeah.
in the clay.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sick. Even though
but
sometimes they get it wrong.
they're doing the Hawkeye now.
Pretty sure.
Ah.
Pretty sure that's Hawkeye this year.
Which, I mean, makes sense. That was always Jim Lurch when discussing the robot strike zone. He's a big robo-ump guy. And that was always his go-to example. He's like, if they can do it in tennis, like, why can't we do this in baseball? Because it's always accurate in tennis. Or like the VAR in soccer, same thing.
Well, who was it that got – did you see Bueller get thrown out the other night?
Oh,
Walker?
yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Some of these umps, man, they just got this ego on their shoulder.
I don't know what it is with some of these umpires, man. I mean, the Red Sox are an absolute dumpster fire of an organization. I mean, Alex Bregman just got hurt, so guess who's got to play third base again?
Are they going to make him play third?
I think so.
Gosh, dude, how do you keep messing with it? Like, apparently he's hot right now, too.
Oh, he's red hot.
I've somehow found myself on Red Sox Twitter. I think from us just talking about it on the show the last couple weeks, it's now come up where it's like, what are you going to do to Devers? And they're like, there's a lot of people being like, don't move him. Stop messing with him.
Yeah,
just let him be.
Let him DH. Just he likes he's gotten used to it now.
DH. Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're gonna stick him at third. And
dude,
this is because Trevor Story is an absolute nightmare. Guy hasn't hit a baseball since 2023, and you call up Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony. Your top
I hear about
two
this Anthony
prospects.
guy.
Oh, he's a stud. They're both studs. You call them up. You stick Anthony at first.
Mm-hmm.
You put Christian Campbell at second. You put Marcelo Meyer at short. And
Trevor Story's gone.
Story.
Move on.
You're riding the pine or you're DFA'd. I don't care how much money he's owed. That guy
He's that bad?
stinks.
He's been that bad?
Awful.
Oh, my gosh.
And then when Bregman comes back, he's at third.
Okay.
And that's just your infield. Like, just have it be that. And because Tristan Casas might never play baseball again. So
it's a good day for you in here, though, Mark. I mean, you got the Mets game doubleheader. You also have a Red Sox doubleheader today.
Yeah, because they were supposed to have a doubleheader yesterday, and the second game got postponed.
Yes.
So they played one of two games yesterday, and then another doubleheader today.
Well, it sucks when those games take forever, too, though. I mean, you scored 19 runs. It's just going to be a long game.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice, but
you're beating up on the little guy in the division, though. I mean,
what? The Orioles stink, dude.
Dude, I feel bad. Our buddy is a big Orioles fan.
Yeah.
He talks constantly about how this team and whatever, and it's like, you knew the pitching was bad.
Oh, it's
like the pitching's really bad.
Yeah.
But even and it's all the pitching. Like there was a stat he gave us like a couple weeks ago that was like in games the Orioles score 4 or more runs, they're like undefeated, or 5-0, 5 or more runs. They're like undefeated.
Yeah.
But if they don't score 5 runs, they haven't won a game all year or something like that. That was a crazy stat.
Yeah.
I'm like, you realize how bad your pitching has to be where you need 5 runs? I mean, the Reds also haven't won a 1-0 game all year either.
Yeah.
Like they're pretty bad on the bats too, but like the pitching's good. So you have hope. They give you hope where you think.
I was just talking to my dad yesterday, big San Francisco Giants fan. And I was looking at their offensive stats. I said, how are they this good? They're only 2 back of the Dodgers for the division. And then I saw their team ERA is 3.3.
It's ridiculous. That whole division's nuts, though.
Yeah.
Too. The Diamondbacks are crazy right now, too, right?
Every team in that division is good, except for the Rockies, who were the worst team to ever play baseball.
Oh, no, they didn't beat the Yankees. They were tied in the 6th inning yesterday,
though. They are on pace for 26 wins.
Is that worse than the White Sox last year?
It's about 15 games worse than the White Sox last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Real bad team. Well, that's going to do it for the show today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks to Jamie for calling in, Jim, Pat, Mike, everyone else in the chat. We'll see you all next week. Same time, same channel, 11 a.m. on the Score 1260. Peace.